So it's happening yet again. The US government is passing a new law that discriminates against men. It is the infrastructure bill. It's already been passed, actually. The $1 trillion infrastructure bill. $1 trillion. That's a lot of money for the taxpayer. And yes, it discriminates against men. And in this video, I'm going to show you how. So here's the bill, which I've linked below. It's 2,600 pages. I skimmed most of it, but you can use Control F, a little trick, and I looked at the keyword women, and I found 37 results. And the bill, sure enough, does have different laws or different provisions for men and women. And I'm going to show you what they are. They're not exactly clear yet what they mean, but let's take a look. I also made this quick blog post about this here, which I've linked down below. I don't really have a blog. I just made it for this one video. I think this topic, it's easier to understand if you read it than if you watch a video. So I'll keep the video kind of quick, but if you want to click that below, I kind of break it down. Okay, so let's actually look at the bill. This is page 38. If you Control F women, which is how you look up keywords on a document, this is the fourth result. Take a look at what I've highlighted. This is talking about how the bill will determine who is considered a socially, economically disadvantaged person. So take a look. Except that women shall be presumed to be socially and economically disadvantaged individuals for the purposes of this subsection. So women will be presumed to be socially and economically disadvantaged. What exactly does that mean? Now, keep in mind the context of the economic situation in America today. Men are falling behind. In fact, men are behind and have been behind for a while. I did a video on the young male crisis. Men are less likely to be employed, more likely to be unemployed, more likely to be homeless, less likely to go to college. So how exactly is the US government determining and presuming that women are socially and economically disadvantaged? Based on what? Okay, so back to the bill. This is page 37, and if you Control F women, this is result 537. And this is identifying, I guess, the people who are socially and economically disadvantaged. But this is what it says. Notify the secretary in writing of the percentage of the small business concerns that are controlled by 1. Women, 2. Socially and economically disadvantaged individuals other than women. What? And 3. Individuals who are women and are otherwise socially and economically disadvantaged individuals. Now this one is very interesting, and I'm going to get back to this point in a little bit, but if you're a man of color, what exactly does this mean for you? I don't quite understand what they're saying here. Like how come 1 and 2? Like one category is women, and then the second category is socially and economically disadvantaged individuals other than women. But what does that mean? How come? Why do you have to say it twice? Like it's what? Okay, and now they talk about the trucking industry, and this is page 879. If you Control F women, this will be 1137, but I think the 3 ones here are probably 11, 12, 13, so probably anywhere in there. But basically, they're saying that women should be hired to be more truck drivers. And let me read it first and then give you my feedback. Starting at 22, sense of Congress regarding women in trucking. It is a sense of Congress that the trucking industry should explore every opportunity to encourage and support the pursuits and retention of careers in trucking by women, including through programs that support recruitment, driver training, and mentorship. And yes, women are the minorities in trucking, so I understand the logic, but are they saying that we should encourage more men to be nurses or teachers? Like, are they looking at the female-dominated industries and saying men should be more active here? Or is it only looking at one way? It's not clear because they're not exactly explaining what they're doing, but I think that's a fair question to ask. So imagine you have a 21-year-old son who's just getting out of college and getting ready to join the workforce. Or you're a 21-year-old guy right now, just finishing college, and getting ready to go to work. Or you're a guy of any age trying to get work. Or your boyfriend, or your dad, or your brother, or your son, or whoever is trying to get work in the United States. Now, under this infrastructure budget, or bill, or whatever you want to call it, you are now legally considered automatically, by default, advantaged and privileged, economically and socially. So what exactly is that going to mean? If you start having these stimulus packages or these job programs or these new benefits or these new social welfare programs or these new scholarships, whatever it is, if you're a man, how exactly is that going to affect you? The federal government is now considering you legally, economically advantaged by default. So what is that going to mean for you? Or maybe more importantly, what is that not going to mean for you? What are you not going to get? What's not going to be available? And if you're a man of color, which in America we all know that means non-white, pay attention to the language here. Like, notice how one category is women, and then the next category is disadvantaged people other than women. You know, just the whole way it's broken down. I mean, just read that. The whole way it's broken down is just very awkward and very strange. And I've done videos on this before. If you're a man of color in America, yes, the whole progressive social justice side will have your back sometimes. But at the end of the day, you're still a man. So when it comes to issues like domestic violence against men, or how men go to prison more, or how men are more likely to be homeless or more likely to be unemployed, these so-called allies of yours will be nowhere to be found.